Hey everybody, this is Matt with AltCoin Buzz. Hope you're having a great weekend or wrapping up your weekend. We are going to go over the top 50 to 100 coins right now in volume, according to volume. Do some screening, see what's standing out. These might be some projects you're looking at. We're going to see some price moves. Also, we're going to address some things that I'm hearing out there in the chat about as Bitcoin gains dominance, what is happening to the altcoins, and are they all in fact going down as Bitcoin is gaining? And this is not true, as we're going to see. So let's look at the top 50 to 100 right here, and we're going to look at some specific projects as well. Let's not worry about the market cap. I'm going to pull this column big. Remember, this gives you the top one. Excuse me, gonna have to put up my coughing on this one. Getting over a cold here. Top 100 in market cap. And there was some confusion last time on the video because, of course, I'm going fast and I'm pointing over here to these columns. And I think sometimes my mouse was over on circulating supply. But what I'm addressing, what I'm focusing on is 24-hour volume. So we're going to pull the circulating supply out of there to save any confusion. I don't want you guys to think for any reason I'm pointing to that circulating supply because in most cases I could care less on that. What we're talking about here is volume. Total transaction volume in dollars over the last 24 hours. So that's what I want to see. So watch this change as we toggle this. And we're going to address short-term and long-term. I want to talk about the short-term trading perspective versus the swing trading of a 7-day type perspective. So as Bitcoin has gone over that 11,000 mark, a lot of people are talking about, well, that's, excuse me, is that being drained? Is that draining the altcoins? All right, well, let's look and see. On a 24-hour basis, we see Bitcoin's almost flat so far for this 24-hour period. It does have the most volume. I'm just going to point out to you guys that this is a quiet period right here. 7-day volatility at 16% is low. So everything is on the quiet side. We got a little lighter volume as it goes that we've been watching over these last couple weeks. So things are a little bit calmer. Another proof of this, if you want to look at it, on the solume.io, solume.io, they compare social media to price. So the volume of social media out there, the buzz, the chat, the things that are going on out there. And we looked at this chart the other day. But do you remember when we were looking at this a couple days ago? The 24-hour social volume and sentiment on Bitcoin was over 18,000. Well, see, here's proof. It's about 3,000 less today. I think we were around the 3,300 mark on Ethereum that day. So Ethereum's got a little extra on it. But overall, lighter social news volume, trading volume is lighter. But look at this right here. If you toggle this sentiment change, this is positive or negative in the past 24 hours, you can give yourself a little screening tool and you can find out what's moving. I did this earlier and saw out of 221 impressions on social volume, look at Tether. It's got 1,000% positive change on social volume. I don't know what's going on with it. Why is there more social on this? Are there bots out there? Are things happening? But look at the top 5 here with me. Decred, 475% change in social sentiment. Social media sentiment is towards the positive side is what they're rating it. Vibrate, we've got Pivx, and we've got SpectraCoin on that top 5. So that's a good tool for you to check if there's some movement on this. We want to check social volume, news volume, events coming up, and then we want to check trading volume. So you can look at that. And I'm going to go back to the big chart here because we're going to toggle it according to 24-hour volume. So if you toggle that 24-hour volume mark, it'll go biggest to lowest, and you can see down the line here where I'm pointing my mouse that now our top list here is going to be according to volume. So let's look over here on the 24-hour and see what's popping. So we know this list is the top volume in crypto. So this front page holds 100 coins. So we know these top 100 are arranged now according to trading volume. And I'm just going to look at the high volume, then the change. So Ethereum Classic, a 5% change. What's going on with it? So 24 hours, increased. Is it increased volume for Ethereum? You can go in there and you can check that. What's going on? Let's look at some of the other ones that are popping maybe. Stellar Lumens, a 10, almost 11% with some higher trading volume compared to overall crypto. Remember, I'm checking it according to crypto right now, overall. This Digix DAO, that's the one that's going to be eventually pegged to the gold. I looked into that quite a bit. I want you guys to give me your impression on that. It has made a run like crazy. And right now, to buy right now, would be seemingly buying at all-time highs. So I'm going to go in here and show you this chart. You see that run up it's had? Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to run up double from here. But now that it's made this huge run just in the last 2 weeks, 227 all the way up into the 500. So we've gone over 100% on that thing in a couple weeks. So it's tough to get involved with that. But look at the volume changes down here. We had spikes back at the beginning of February, but then you got a higher daily average volume since around the February 21st mark. So you guys need to go into this one, check this out. They get a 2.8 out of 5, and you can just see clearly over the past 7, 14, 30, 45, 90, and 200 days, it's just jumped and jumped. So let's go back to our big chart. So that's one that I wanted to point out there. And all these that I'm pointing out on the 24-hour jump in price here, you've got to go in and you've got to check it. Let's make sure we're right again on the 24s. We go back and arrange that right. All right. We're going to look at this on 7 day in a minute, but I'm just right now going through the 24-hour price change right now on these with some volume. That Digix DAO there, I'm not worried about that one. This Block Mason credit protocol, this intrigued me. I looked at it. We got 48 million in volume, but you want to look at the circulating supply on that one, find out why that trading volume is so high and why it's got this jump, not just in the last day, week, 30 days, and 90 days. Check that out. Odyssey making a big jump here. This Core with a K. I don't know about this project. I dove a little bit of it into it tonight. If you guys know about any of these three projects, please type your things in the chat and tell the community what's going on with these if you know a lot more about these. One thing I see over here, just as an impression, is that their market cap rating on the list is in the 200s and Core in the 400s, and yet they are on the top volume list. So something's moving on those. Who knows why? Theta token, I know you guys are in. Add token, I know you're in. Both those have a price jump for the 24-hour period. Not all things are down. The storage with the J on the end, I know there's a review on AltCoin Buzz done there. That's a 12% jump. And we're going to see that on the 7 day too. And rounding out the top list, most of these are in green or in the single digits. NULS, no idea about that project, but it's green across the board. What's going on with that? Almost 10 million in volume. It's got a bit of volatility going on there. And rounding out this top 100, Feathercoin. I did want to point Feathercoin out to you guys. So let's go into the chart. Usually 205 on market cap overall, but it's making a move. And look at this volume spike here. So I've got this now toggled to the last 30-day move. So as you move along here, you can see the cursor. You get 2 days per candle. So you got to go 3 month. Pull a 3 month on there, and you're going to get the daily chart. See how I'm moving along, and I'm going March 1st, March 2nd, March 3rd. And of course, we're not completed on the 4th. So you can't even, this candle isn't complete. This isn't the volume of the day that it's going to be. But look at this big jump. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Screening for volume. I know Feathercoin's been around a long time. I can tell that by going to this investment tab and seeing 58 months this thing's been around. I'm not claiming to know anything about Feathercoin, and I don't have a position in it. So, you can't accuse me of anything on this. But look how flat it's been over this past, what did I just pull? The 3-month chart. It's been real flat, and it's starting to make a move in price, as I noticed on the screening. And then once you go into this and find out why is it in the top 100 on volume today, well, it didn't just make a volume jump, a unusual one. It made a volume jump today so far that is as high as the largest ones on the chart for the 3-month period. Now, I don't know if it's like that in all of history for Feathercoin. Maybe they had much higher volume in the past. Let's look at that. They did. But a significant volume spike compared to the last since January 8th. This is the largest volume spike since January 8th. So is this something to pay attention to? What's going on with this project? Is there anything happening on events? It says March 8th. They'll signal support for SegWit on block. You can read that. Is that what's going on with that? They have a halving coming up in July, so that's far off. So that volume spike can't necessarily be related to that. So this is how you can identify events that might be happening. Price moves with the volume. Is that going to carry this thing? Or is this volume move, is it capitulation in these cases where it's a flat line and people are just trading back and forth, and you get a net effect of nothing? The buyers and sellers are evened out. Well, that's something you have to analyze, especially if you're in this coin. You have to find out what's going on. On the market cap, it's only 57 million. Now, again, you know how much weight I put on market cap. So that is something on the 24-hour price jump that just reached out and is worth looking at. And if you guys are in Feathercoin, then you might already know about that. Please put in the comments why. I can't go through on these videos every reason why or tell you why I think something should do something necessarily, but this is awareness. We identify some of these trends and then go into them. Now, the big question of the day is this Bitcoin dominance causing all altcoins to go down? No, I say. So again, I toggled this according to 24-hour volume. You saw me do that. Let's do it again. There we are. Back to the volume. Top, most to least in order on this column. So now let's look at 7-day. To save any confusion from that 1-day volume that we just discussed and talked about, I'm going to pull that off the chart. And now our first column over here is 7-day volume. Okay? No confusion. 7-day price jump over the last 7 days, 24-hour volume, and I do like seeing the 7-day volatility, as you know. I want to know, are we quiet? Are we heating up? Is it noisy? Right now, we're a little more on the quiet side. All right, 7-day jump. So our bellwether, or the one that stands out, is Bitcoin. 16% move up in the last 7 days. So what I want to do on this top volume list, I want to see everything that's got higher than 16% move. Because if Bitcoin is gaining dominance, then we want to know, in this last 7 days, in price, remember, again, price and the circulating supply equals the market cap. But so, dominant schmominance. But I do like volume and price moves. So that's what I want to see at this point. 18% on Tron. Now, I know a lot of you are in Tron. You're going to stand up in your seat and clap that I'm talking about Tron. I'm in Tron. Yes, I'm a long-term holder of this. There were some developments on the project. Jeff went over this. Some people went over this. There was a lot of news on Twitter. So 18% price move above Bitcoin. This is the one I wanted to point out to you. the other night, and it continues to rise with 133 million in trading volume so far today. Large amount is Monero. Privacy coin, you guys know this. You know, in the privacy coins, we just did a video on comparison. One of the girls did on that. There's a lot of news out about privacy coins. A lot with the crackdown of the SEC, with things with taxes, with things going on. So is that why this is moving? Who cares why it's moving? It's moving. It's jumping on the 7, the 30, the 90, and the 200 day consistently. And you see that it has beaten Bitcoin. So Monero has outperformed Bitcoin at this point, guys, over the last 200 days. By far. It's not even a comparison. So that is definitely something to keep track of on that. 25% move, 7 days. Now we got the Digit Dow. We already talked about this on the 24-hour. 47% move. Again, not necessarily being taken away from by Bitcoin. All right, down. I'm not going to address this ATM coin. It's a little unusual to me. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what's happening with it. I'm not in it. I'm not recommending it. When I went to research it, looked a little weird as to how you could get a hold of it. If anyone has any insight into this, let me know. Nano, we've talked about a lot. Again, price move in the last 7 days, outperforming Bitcoin, 24%. This Block Mason, which we talked about on the daily, outperforming at 20%. Core with a K, outperforming. This is the one I did want you guys to look at and talk about circulating supply in here. Just take a quick look at this with me. This is on the 7-day chart, right? No, this is 30-day chart. All right, 30 days. Circulating supply is 2 million. You see the price of the coin over here? Core and US dollar price, 641. So just round numbers, 2 times 640. Let's just say it's 13. So that's 13. If all the circulating supply out there at that price, that would give us this market cap right here. You see that? How that's computed? 13 million in market cap. Well, we have trade volume, 24-hour trade volume of 42 million. So what's going on with that? All the circulating supply being traded back and forth. This is fishy. We need to look at this. Are these exchanges trading it back and forth to increase the volume, to get the buzz? Are those trading bots going on with that? If you guys have any insight in this KORE coin project, KORE core, I know a lot of you listen in your car on the radio, on the radio. Well, you might stream it through your radio. A lot of you listen on your way to work, on your headphones, on the YouTube. So I'm going to try more to say these things out loud instead of just pointing to the charts and pointing things. Try to give you some of the numbers on that. So check that out. Let me know in the comments. Let's go back here to the big chart. Figure out some others that stand out on the volume. So we're down to core. We're about halfway through the list. And we discussed Theta token on the daily, the 7-day, 69%. Add token, also 63% move in the last 7 days, outperforming Bitcoin on there, gaining. Vericoin, usually 266 in the market cap spot. Look how high that is, a 66% move in the last 7 days. Genesis Vision, I don't know about that project. Transfer Coin, here's another one that I happen to know because I looked into it earlier when I saw this. This has a low circulating supply, and it's got I think a circulating supply of 6 million. I'm not positive, but again, 19 million so far traded today on just 6 million. 2 times the 6 is 12 million if you had all the coins out there going. So something's going on with that. Same thing. We talked about the storage with a J on the end, beating Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin 16%, we're at 21% price move in the last 7 days on that. Stratus, you guys know about that project. It's a excuse me, little under 10%. Now you guys know why I didn't do videos in the last couple days. I don't want to cough in your face so much, but I had to get this out for the weekend. This is important stuff. It's important for you guys to screen this, look at these things. Bytum, 21%. Metal, 19%. Nexus, 49% move in 7 days. District 0x, 27%. Salus, 78. You guys know about this. Economy, 38%. Neblio, you're in that 19% move. Remember, I've got these toggled according to volume. So this top 100 list that have price moves, I feel are significant. This is a significant screening for you. I'm not just going through a list just to go through and point out tools and things that you need to use. I'm wanting you to have a radar go off and find out what's happening. I know a lot of you are in Ethos. Here's Sun Contract Ethos, again, over Bitcoin. Match Pool is over at 46%. We're getting ready to wrap this up. Golem, 30% move. Blackcoin, 27%. We already talked about Feathercoin and Monaco to round out the top 100 list, 29%. So these coins have had a price move higher than Bitcoin in the last 7 days. Things are moving. Now, as we went through this list, did you guys look at the algorithmic score that Coin Checkup gives over here? Did you look at the volatility over the last 7 days? So just on this list, let's do this. Let's do a volatility screen, okay? I'm going to pull that highest volatility to low volatility. And you can see here, there's not a whole lot of coins. Let's see if we can pull that a little better. Yeah, there we go. There's what I'm after on your volatility over the past 7 days. Bitcoin is at 16%, so you find out what's as quiet as Bitcoin in here, or what's quieter than Bitcoin. And you want to find out the ones that are quieter. As I'm rolling down here, you see there's some in the single digits now we're getting into. But are they heavily traded? Do they have 24-hour volume greater than 1 million? Let's look at a low volatility coin, not Tether, that's got some strong volume that's under Bitcoin. I'm just going to find you one, and then you can screen for this later on your own because we got to wrap this up. Swap token. Okay, so I'm not seeing any. There's a 30 ARC block. There you go. ARC block is 30 million traded today so far with a 12% volatility. So check that out. Because if that's quieter, there's good amount of trading volume. If it's not thin, if you can get in out of this, and it's traded, there's not deep bid and ask, or big spreads on the bid and ask, where you can actually get filled on this, a 12% volatility is kind of nice. That might be a good time, might be considered cheap to buy this now at this point. All right, guys, thank you so much. Remember, if you're new to this, hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Here's the link to all our social media. Hope y'all are wrapping up a great weekend. Join me on Steemit. I am on Steemit. You go to the AltCoin Buzz blog on there. Sign up for an account. Start earning money. Check out all the videos on here, and I'll interact with you. Or if you go on Twitter, I'm Crypto Trade Matt. Thanks a lot. See you guys next time.